Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to talk about something crazy that happened to me. This event actually happened a few years ago. It happened 2 years ago, I believe in 2018. Basically, I was coming home after work and I was driving down the street. Started raining, so it was sprinkling. Like, it wasn't too much of a big deal. But once I got to the house, it just came down hard. Like, it was raining hardcore. And I remember I was wearing like a dress and some like heels that day, like open-toed heels, and I was like, ugh, like I'll just wait it out, like it'll calm down, like the rain just comes and goes, it's fine. So I decided to wait in my car, and at the same time I was on the phone, so I was like, oh, I'll just hang out for a little bit. So I reclined my seat back, and then literally 5-10 seconds later someone came and knocked on my window, and I was like, I don't know what they want, but I don't want to deal with it right now. And so I just kind of ignored it, and I was hoping they didn't notice that I was still in the car. And no, they knew I was in there because they knocked again, and it was on the passenger side. They kept knocking on the window. But finally I rolled down the window, and then I peeked to see who it was. And this girl, she had very short hair, almost like a boy haircut. She was kind of pale, not pale, but like very light skin. And the girl asked me if I had a towel in my car so she could dry herself with. And it was still raining, so I was like, in my head I was thinking, well, if you're gonna dry yourself, it's still raining, you're gonna get wet again, like don't you need like something else? So that's me thinking in my head. I looked around to see if I had anything, and I didn't have anything, and I was like, no, sorry, I don't have anything, but let me go inside, see what I can find. So I hung up my phone call and I rolled up the windows. I was like, dang it, I'm just gonna have to get wet, whatever. So I got out of my car. It was still raining hardcore. I ran to my house to try to avoid, getting drenched. And she was just kind of standing there by my car, and I was like, come. Like, I was trying to get her to like get out of the rain and just hide under the rooftop of like the entryway of my house. And she finally came, but she was walking, she was just mellow. She didn't even flinch as the water was like hitting her in the face. She was just like mellow, like she didn't even care. And I was like, well, that's kind of strange. And as I was, getting my keys out of my purse and trying to open the door, she's like, so how far away is Paseo? Is it like down the street or something? And I was, in my head, I was confused. I was like, Paseo? It's Paseo del Norte. It's the main street. From where I live, it's about 30-minute drive. That's driving. 30 minutes driving. This girl was on foot. So I was like, no, it's really far from here. It's gonna take you a while to get by foot, but in car it's about 30 minutes. She's like, oh, okay. But she was like, just the way she was talking, you guys, it was just like, it's not something I'm used to, just because of how slow and mellow and carefree she was talking. Like, I just didn't even know what to think of it. Like, is she okay? Is she on drugs? It's, I don't know, so many things came through my head. And so, while I'm still, juggling my keys trying to open the door, in my head I was like, well, I can't have her come inside the house just because, it's a stranger. You don't know what if she's armed or something, you just don't know. It's better to be careful. So I told her, wait here, I'll be right back. Closed the door, I locked it behind me. And then I went upstairs to try to look for my umbrella, but I noticed it wasn't upstairs. I was like, dang it, I think it's downstairs in the dining room. Went to the dining room. At the same time, I was keeping an eye out on her, and from the second floor of the house, you can actually, see the entryway section. So, and the main entryway door, it has like frosted glass. So even though I can't see clearly like what she's doing, I can still, see a figure basically. And so I was just keeping an eye out on her while I was looking for the umbrella. I finally found it. It took me less than a minute to find it. And I came back out and I gave it to her. And I remember thinking when I gave it to her, she was opening it up. It came in a little zippy bag. So she opened it up. She was kind of messing with it. And I think she had asked me something else, and I can't remember what she asked me. But basically in my head, I was like, oh, like I forgot the towel, like that way she can like dry herself. And I was like, hold on. And I looked at her and she's like, okay. And she was still kind of messing with the umbrella. And I went upstairs, checked for the towels, but I realized I just washed my towels. So I went downstairs, had to go to the garage where the laundry section is. Same thing happened as I was coming downstairs. I was just kind of keeping an eye out on her, making sure she was still there at the entryway. And I looked, and yeah, she was still there. Went to the laundry room, came back. Literally, it took me about 3 to 5 seconds max, like to get from the main entrance to the laundry room. And I came back, and when I got back, she was gone. I was like, what the hell? Like, is she like hiding from me or what? So I started like walking out of my house and just kind of looking around to see if I spotted her. There's no sign of her, no sign of the umbrella, nothing. So I was like, that's strange. Like, it didn't take me that long to the point where she could have walked like miles away. Like, if anything, she could have made it like halfway across the street. Like, and it's like right in front of my house. Like, if you think about it, time-wise, it's just impossible for her to go very far in that little time frame that I was, you know, from the entryway where I last saw her to the laundry room and back. Like, there's no way. So I know that some people might think, oh, well, you know what, maybe she got picked up by someone, and that was actually something that came through my head. But at the same time, my dogs, I have Chihuahuas. I had 3 Chihuahuas at the time, and anytime any car pulls up near or in front of the house, like, they just go off. They just freak out. And so when I was grabbing the stuff, they weren't even barking. They're just kind of chilling. And you can hear every kind of car perfectly clear if it's in front of the house. Like, no matter what kind of car it is, no matter how quiet the car is, like, you can hear it. Like, you just hear the tires hitting the gravel, or just, you can hear the engine. So my windows aren't soundproof or anything. Like, you can literally hear everything. So that was my thought process in that moment. And I was like, there's no way. Like, did she just walk down the street? Like, where's she going? And in my head, I was like, well, I feel bad if she's going all the way to Paseo. It's really far. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna see if I can offer her a ride, or see what, you know, where she's going or something, you know. And I got in my car. I still had the towel. I started driving through the streets to see if I spotted anyone or any car movement or anything, and I didn't see anything. I didn't see anyone in any car. Like, I was just weirded out, and I was like, what the hell? Like, that's just strange. Like, I was looking everywhere and I couldn't see anyone. That's when I started like feeling weird about it, and I was like, should I go back and check the house? And I went back to check the house to see if there was like any strange movement or anything, and no, I checked the yard, no one was there. I checked all the doors. I made sure that all the doors were locked when I left, like everything. And she was gone. After that happened, I started questioning like what I saw. Like, I was like, was I like imagining things? Maybe I was kind of like not paying attention. Like, did I just see a ghost, or did I see someone that was manifesting themselves to be someone else? Like, there's just so many things came through my mind. And it's just one of those situations, like, if you believe in like abnormal things out there, like, this type of situation will kind of become alarming, right? And I'm a huge believer that, you know, we're obviously not alone. There's ghosts, there's, you know, good stuff, bad stuff out there. And it just weirded me out because I was just, part of me was kind of worried. I was like, where does she walk? Like, is she coherent? Does she know where she's at? So a few days before this happened, I had just got done watching a movie that had to do with girls who were getting sex trafficked. And one of the girls that was getting sex trafficked, she was kind of low-key hinting to a girl she ran into in the bathroom that she needed help. So she purposely left her cell phone in some random girl's purse, and then had like a very brief conversation with her. But then when the guys that owned her were yelling for her to hurry up out of the bathroom, she like right away panicked and left. And so the other girl who owned the purse, she didn't really think much of it and didn't even see that the girl had put her phone in her purse. So It wasn't until she got home, I guess she was having like a get together with her friends, like a little vacation kind of thing up in the mountains. Total, like, it was like a very lonely area. There was only one house at the top of the hilltop, and that was just like their hangout spot. They're gonna have a good time, whatever. When the girl got home, she started looking through her purse and she found a random cell phone. She's like, well, what is this? This isn't mine. And she actually was able to, it was locked, but she was able to break through it. So she got into the phone. She started like looking through contact information and pictures to see if she can recognize anyone, you know, that the phone belonged to. And that's when she found all kinds of pictures of girls getting sex trafficked and whatnot. And so when she spotted that, she's like, oh my gosh, like, I think I have a phone that they use to traffic girls. So she told the husband, and he's like, oh my gosh, like, get that out of here. Like, just call the police, give it to them, they'll handle the rest. And she was just like, she was just weirded out by that whole situation. All of a sudden, she hears the doorbell ring. And when she opened the door, there was the girl that she ran into in the bathroom. And then immediately she like connected the dots, and she's like, you're that girl. Like, do you need help? Like, she kept trying to insist to like offer her help and like, come inside, like, I'll help you, you know, well, talk to the police, blah, blah, blah. And the girl that was at the front door, she was just like, don't do this. Like, you do not want to get involved. Just give me my phone back and we're done. We're done. Just don't talk to me. And the girl kept insisting, no, I can help you. I can help you. And the other girl's like, no, just give me the phone. Like, she was getting so impatient and frustrated because she knew what the guys were about. Like, they weren't here to play games. And so she didn't get the phone back. So she went back to talk to the guy. She's like, I can't get the phone back. Like, she won't give it to me. The guys were obviously waiting in the car from far away, but were keeping an eye out. So when she came back to tell them the bad news, they just shot her in the spot. And they went back to try to get the phone from her. And so it was a huge freaking movie. Like, it's intense. You guys have to watch it, by the way. But anyways, so basically the point is, after watching that movie, like, I was kind of paranoid. So when this girl like just came up to me, like, at the same time, I was just kind of looking around to make sure, you know, she wasn't being followed or watched or anything. And I didn't spot anyone, so that's why I'm like, well, I don't know if I can fully trust her enough to, like, I don't know. I just felt like I had to have my guard up. So even though I was, you know, I helped her out with an umbrella, I was still kind of like hesitant to offer more help just because of that, because it's a stranger, you just don't know. And now, like, after that whole thing happened where she just vanished, she just disappeared, it got me thinking, like, was my kindness being tested? Like, it's just one of those things that's so easy to overthink just because you don't have the answers. And that's literally what I went through. Like, after that happened, for days I was just thinking to myself, like, what happened to that girl? Like, did I see someone? Was I imagining things? Did I see a ghost? Like, was I actually interacting with someone? Or, like, you just don't know what you saw. You don't know what to believe anymore. And so part of me was kind of regretting not being able to offer more help or give her a ride or asked more questions. I should have asked more questions. Where she was going to, what if she was one of those girls that were like drugged and like getting sex trafficked and she didn't know where she was at? Like, so many things came through my mind. So till this day, I'm just like weirded out by the whole situation. Like, I wish I had the answers. I wish I know what happened, or if in reality I was talking to someone, but she got picked up and literally the car was further down the block and that's why I didn't hear anything. But I don't know. It's just not possible, you know? Like, I even like checked the nearby houses to see if I spotted any of the doors open, or because, you know, when someone's like going from door to door and you can spot them like right away. Like, within the time frame that I was gone, like, I would have at least spotted them getting to the neighbor's house like halfway. Until this day, it's gonna drive me insane because I don't know what I saw. And I've told my mom, I told very few people about this situation. I think just like literally 2 people I've told. And from both people I've been told, well, I don't know, sometimes your kindness can get tested, and you know, someone is manifesting themselves and to appear as someone else, and see how far you'll go to help them out if they're in need. And basically, like I said, your kindness is being tested. So when they told me that, I'm like, well, I hope I passed. I don't know if I did enough. Like I said, I felt like I had my guard up, and I mean, I feel like anybody who's in my situation would be in that same kind of position too. Like, you just don't know who to trust anymore these days. And I was making sure to offer help, but at the same time keep my guard up and just be prepared in case it was like a home invasion kind of situation, or she tried to attack me or something, you know? Like, I was ready to go. Like, I was just keeping an eye out the whole time, making sure there was no funny business. I've been through some crazy stuff, you guys. Some crazy stuff. But if you guys experienced anything weird or crazy or random like this, just let me know, because it'll put me a little at peace knowing that situations like this do actually happen, and I'm not just going freaking back crazy. Anyways, well, I hope you guys enjoyed my little story time. I know it's a very random story, but I've been wanting to talk about this for a long time, but something about talking about just gets me kind of like tense and shaky. See it? Ew, it's so gross. Okay, well, anyways, hope you enjoyed my story time, and we'll see you next time. Bye.